Today's quote for this video is "Get busy living or get busy dying" by Stephen King. And that is the quote for today because we're talking about how to hit on femme queer women, the femme ladies, the femmes. Please hit on them, make it easier for them because we got to deal with this type of shit all day long. So please just like make things easier for us and come talk to us because we need a break, okay? Give me a break. I got to deal with this all day. Okay. Anyways, so the point of get busy living or get busy dying is that you really need to shoot your shot. You need to take chances, take risks, take calculated risks, you know? And if you do make a fool out of yourself, understand that it's okay. Okay? Because honestly, it is a big high point of truly like living life to put yourself out there to the fullest at least a couple times a year. Yeah. I honestly prefer being the one who approaches someone. Like I would rather me approach than them approach me because it automatically makes me the baddest bitch in the room. And also because I like having that control over our first interaction, you know, and I like being I'm quite submissive except for this particular moment. So I do like these times where I get to be like, yo, what's up, girl? How you doing? What's up with you? What's up with you? You got somebody waiting for you at home? Like, and this video is gonna particularly focus on femmes just because there's a lot of, apprehension to hitting on femmes sometimes because you don't know if they are straight or not. And a lot of masculine presenting women, they kind of get this idea in their head that if they approach a woman, then it's predatory or it's too aggressive or it's gonna make them super uncomfortable, but that's just not true. But if you are a masculine presenting woman and you do have that fear in the back of your head, there's a really simple way to solve that is simply read the room, as my sister likes to say. And it's simply just paying attention to how the girl is responding to you. If she's getting really standoffish, if she's not really engaging, if she looks uncomfortable, then that's when you know you should back off. It's really easy to tell if someone is interested back if you're just paying attention to how they're reacting to you. So if you're making someone uncomfortable, it should be fairly obvious, but don't take that initial like, oh, a stranger's talking to me, I'm gonna be like a little apprehensive. You know, like they're not gonna immediately be like, hi, my name is so-and-so, let me tell you my entire life story, like immediately, you know, but just like read the room and just understand that it's a bit uncomfortable and awkward for the both of you, and all you gotta do is just like make them laugh a little bit and then continue reading their comfort level based on their body language, what they're talking to you, what they're saying, how they're engaging with you. And you know, if they've like turned to look at you or if they're still kind of like turned away like this, you know, like you can pay attention to those cues to tell if you're making someone uncomfortable and you should leave them alone or not. And that's all you got to do to really prevent you from, you know, kind of overstepping those boundaries with someone. All you got to do is pay attention. The very, very first thing that you should do is find your confidence. Find the part of you that does not care what happens or does not care about rejection, does not care what people think. The part of you that just knows that you are a 10 out of 10, that you are amazing, that you are everything, that you have a lot to offer, that you bring a lot to the table, that you are intelligent, that you are interesting, that you have goals and ambitions. That part of you that understands that and has no fears, bring that part of you to the table because you need to hold your head up high, understand that you are about to do something that most people would not do. It automatically makes you the most attractive person in the room because you are probably the only person in a long time who's had the balls to come up and hit on someone in person and not on a dating app or on Facebook or online or any of those variations. So, you know, like take pride in that. Take pride in that, take confidence in that. Understand that you are carrying a big stick when you do this type of shit. In terms of what you should say to the woman, excuse me, I keep burping. In terms of what you should say to the woman, I would recommend something that's situational, that has to do with maybe what they're wearing or where you are or what's going on around you, or just anything that has to do with, you know, anything around them. A compliment is always nice, especially if they're wearing something that's like sort of gay. Those things are things you can use to start a conversation. Anything that they're wearing, compliment their hair, any type of compliment, or just asking about what's going on. Like if you're waiting in line for something, ask them like, oh, how long have you been waiting? You know, just like really casual small talk just to get the ball rolling, and then you can kind of get more into a deeper conversation depending on what happens after that. So if you can open with like a witty joke or something, that's honestly ideal, because if you make them laugh immediately, it definitely gets your foot in the door real hard. But if not, just like something simple, small talk, compliment, a question about, you know, kind of whatever's going on around you. You know, you come here often is obviously cheesy, but if it's relevant, like if you're at, I don't know, like Six Flags, and you see someone and you're like, oh, do you like to ride roller coasters and come to Six Flags a lot? Bam, started a conversation. Now and also you have something in common because you're both there, things like that. My number one piece of advice is to make them laugh at some point. And if you make them laugh like the first thing that you say, wait until you make them laugh again. And then at that second laugh, that is when you should strike while the iron's hot and ask for the phone number, ask if they would like to go out sometime, things like that. And if you want to know a fun example of what I did, one time I was out at this like speed dating event for queer women, and there was a party before the speed dating event started, and there was a very, very cute girl there. And I was like, I'm gonna go get that. I'm gonna go get that. So I go over to her, and then we start chit-chatting or whatever, and then I'm just like, so you should go to the speed dating event later so I can properly hit on you. And she was like, just hook, line, and sinker. Like, I just was like, wow, I've outdone myself. But yeah, so it was great. Got them digits, got a date out of that, you know, just. And once you do it enough times, you do get used to it. I will say that, like, I used to never talk to people when I went out, but now if I'm ever out and I see somebody that I'm kind of into, I will generally 85% of the time go up and talk to them, because you get used to it after a while. Some people aren't gonna like you, some people are. It's not really something you can control. Like, someone might be seeing someone else already, you might not be their type, they might just not really feel like being social that night with strangers. Like, they might just not, they're not into it, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you are any less attractive, it doesn't mean that you are any less worthy, and it doesn't mean that you are any less likely to have someone else be into you, because someone else will be into you, and you want someone who's into you anyway. So yeah. So just also internalize the fact that it's not a big deal if somebody is not into you and rejects you. That shouldn't discourage you from ever hitting on another person again, because it's gonna happen. Like, you know, like, there are some people out there who think Beyonce is not pretty. I don't know who those people are. Actually, I know one of them. But the fact of the matter is, not everybody's gonna think that you're attractive, or they're not all gonna, you know, be wanting to get with you, and that's okay, because there are other people who do want to get with you really badly. You just gotta find them by putting yourself out there and hitting on some women. Also, if you're not really in an environment that is more of a gay space and you want to kind of probe whether they're into women or not, there are some subtle ways that you can do that. Like, if they are somewhere and you catch them alone, you can be like, oh, no boyfriend to come here with you, or no girlfriend to come here with you, and then just see what they say. You know, things like that that are subtle. Or you can straight up ask, like, do you date women? Do you exclusively date men? Do you date women identified people? Are you queer? Are you on the Kinsey scale? Are you in the LGBTQIA community? Like, any of those variations of things, you can be subtle with it or you can be direct. It's not like insulting or scary or aggressive to just ask someone if they're interested in dating women. You don't have to sit there and be trying to figure out if they're queer or not based on their clothes or who they're with or where you're at, when you can just literally ask. Also, stop looking at women's fingernails to tell if, focus on, stop looking at women's fingernails Focus, 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 focus on my face. Stop looking at women's fingernails to determine their sexuality. Sometimes girls just like having long nails, okay? So and also, if you ask a woman if she is, you know, queer or not, and she says no, and she says that she's straight, please immediately report to the closest gay bar and find a femme queer lady, or download the Her app and find one on there. Do not pursue said straight woman when there are bountifuls of queer women that are single, that want to be with you. Thank you. That was a PSA from all the femmes out here. We're tired. We're tired of it. Another thing I would say is don't ask for someone's Instagram or their Snapchat instead of their phone number. It feels like you're not serious. It feels like you're a teenager. It doesn't feel like we're adults here. It just feels like, what are you doing? Like, I really despise that when someone comes up to me, trying to talk to me, and then they ask me for my Instagram. Like, are you just looking for followers? And also, if she says that she's bisexual or pansexual, do not be an insecure child and just assume that she lacks the capacity to be honest and faithful and is automatically a cheater. Please let go of your insane insecurities that are based on you and not other people, because honestly, every sexuality has the capacity to lie to you and cheat on you and be unfaithful. Everyone has equal capacity to do that to you. Bisexual and pansexual people are not more likely to do that to you. If someone is a dishonest cheater, they're gonna be a dishonest cheater no matter their sexuality. Period. So get over it. Also, my last bit of advice is after you've gotten them digits, or if you've been rejected, you know, don't linger around too long after the conversation. You got the digits, good point to say like, well, it was really nice meeting you, have a good night, I'll talk to you soon, and then skedaddle. You know, if you've gotten the communication, the contact info at that point, or if you've been rejected, do not blow up in their face or get disrespectful because you're upset you got rejected. Simply take that L. Take that L. Take that L. I don't know, is this? I don't know which side. Take that, whichever side. Take that L. Take that L. Whichever one is the L, take it. Okay, and just respectfully be like, oh, okay, that's okay, you know, too bad. And then move the fuck along. Anyways, it's also very satisfying when you know that you put yourself out there, that you were confident, that you did something most other people wouldn't do. It's really satisfying. Even if you do get rejected, just take that W for yourself. Take that W that you went out there and did that and did something that most people wouldn't do. And you really made an impression on that person. Even if they rejected you, you made an impression on that person tonight. Just know that. You made an impression, because most people wouldn't have done that. It's really just a win-win situation here, no matter what happens, because if you get someone's digits, that's a win. If you get rejected, it's still a win, because you put yourself out there and were confident and did something most people wouldn't have the balls to do. So good for you, and good job. Keep doing it. Don't get discouraged by rejection, because you're still a bad bitch and plenty of people out there want you. You just gotta hit on them.